ever step onto a modern car factory floor. I mean, forget your oily rags and that clang of metal. We're talking AI humming, robots zipping around.
It's a whole different world.
Right. Totally different. And you know what's even wilder?
What's that?
Some of these changes, like somebody predicted this stuff way back in 1999.
Really?
Yeah, 1999.
Wow.
Way ahead of the curve, right?
Yeah.
So Dr. Daru Ahanotu at Stanford.
Okay.
This is during his PhD dissertation defense.
What?
He was already talking about this stuff.
No kidding.
Like how companies can't just tweak designs, got to reinvent how they operate.
He sounds like a visionary. Talking about balancing continuous improvement with radical innovation in manufacturing. It's not just about making things better, it's about rethinking the whole process, right?
Yeah, and he saw that specifically with car companies.
Yeah.
Like they couldn't just keep tweaking the car designs. They had to be ready to completely change how they operated.
Exactly.
So we're diving into his work for this deep dive because he didn't just predict these changes, he actually had like a framework for how to handle them.
Interesting.
But before we get into all that,
Yeah.
let's set the scene a little bit.
Okay.
Auto industry, big changes. Electric cars, self-driving, hybrids, like the whole shebang.
Right. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's huge. And it's not just about the cars themselves. It's the whole way they're made that's changing.
Right.
It's a manufacturing revolution. And that's what makes this case study so powerful, this company switching from old school engines to hybrids.
Okay, yeah.
It shows how companies can actually navigate all this change.
So, okay, we've got this big shift happening.
Yeah.
How does Ahanotu's research, how does that apply to a company actually doing it?
Well, he says to handle different types of change, you need different approaches, right?
Makes sense.
Different kinds of people. He divides the workforce like 4 groups.
Okay.
So you've got your core group.
Yep.
Those are your pros, the ones who know the assembly line like the back of their hand.
Your solid, experienced people.
Exactly. Then you've got the aspirants.
Aspirants, okay.
They're the eager ones. Want to learn, move up, take on new stuff.
Got it.
Yeah.
So they're the ones who are like ready to jump in and try new things, perfect for these changes we're talking about.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's like you got a well-balanced team, right?
Right.
Each with their own strengths.
Right.
Who are the other 2 groups?
Okay, so then you've got your reservists.
Reservists, okay.
Think of them like experienced hands. You bring them in for specific projects.
Kind of like veteran consultants.
Exactly. Like imagine there's a tricky robotic arm that needs installing. You call in the reservist.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So they're not there all the time, but they're essential when you need that specialized knowledge.
Exactly. And finally, you have the sustainers.
Okay, the sustainers.
They're the backbone, keeping the day-to-day running, even with all this change swirling around.
They keep the lights on.
Exactly. They keep the lights on. So it's not just about having like a bunch of experts in one area. It's about the right mix.
Makes sense, having the right people for the right situation.
Yeah.
But how do these groups actually work together? Like how does that actually play out?
So he links each group to certain types of tasks.
Okay.
So like operations,
Right.
that's your day-to-day production, right?
Yeah.
Perfect for the core group, the sustainers. Then there's experimentation,
Okay.
testing new ideas.
Which is where those aspirants come in.
Exactly. They're
Yeah.
all about that. And it lets them learn and grow.
It's like a win-win.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing if those experiments actually work, you got to figure out how to make them part of the regular routine, right?
Yes.
That's where the reservists come in again.
Exactly. They use their experience for absorption,
Absorption. Okay.
figuring out how to make those innovations part of the standard process. What's so cool about this model is it gets that different types of change, they need different approaches.
It's not one size fits all. So we've got like our A team, right?
Right.
Ready to tackle these big changes. But let's talk tools.
Okay.
Because when I think like future of cars, I'm
Yep.
thinking robots, AI, all that stuff.
For sure. And for good reason, right? This case study, they highlight how AI and all that machine learning stuff,
Yeah.
analyzing all the data from production
Right.
to catch problems before they even happen.
Get out of here.
Seriously. It's like, imagine the computer's like, uh-oh, that machine's going to break.
Whoa.
Better do maintenance. Or, hey, that part's about to go. Line 3. It's wild.
It's like having a sixth sense, but for your factory.
Totally.
That's AI behind the scenes.
Right.
But what about like robots, the ones we always picture on the factory floor?
Oh, they're definitely there. Big time. The case study talks about robotic arms, like taking over welding,
Yeah.
painting, jobs that need like crazy precision,
Right.
tough on human workers.
Makes sense. It's
Yeah.
about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly.
If it's safer for the workers, I'm all for it.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just robots doing their own thing.
Oh.
There's this whole trend now. Cobots.
Cobots.
Collaborative robots. They're designed to actually work with humans.
Get out of here.
Seriously.
So what, like a robot passes you a wrench?
Kind of. More like imagine a cobot helping you lift something super heavy.
Okay.
Or doing some intricate task, but with you guiding its movements. It's pretty amazing.
So it's not about replacing, it's about complementing each other's skills. Humans and robots, like working together.
Exactly. And that brings us to, honestly, one of the most futuristic parts of how cars are made now.
Okay, hit me.
The digital twin.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about that earlier. Remind me again. Digital twin, that's like...
Okay, imagine a video game version of the entire factory. But like crazy detailed, every single thing. And engineers, they use this digital twin to like run simulations.
Oh, interesting.
Try out changes, like what if we move this machine here? Boom, test it in the digital twin.
So they can experiment without messing up the real factory.
Exactly. No risk of downtime, safety issues, none of that. It's brilliant.
So smart. So like they can go wild with ideas in this virtual world, see what works?
Exactly. It's really changing the game. But even with all this crazy tech, can't forget about the human element.
Right, because you still need people to, run these high-tech factories.
100%. Dr. Ahano, too, he talks about this a lot. The goal isn't to get rid of people. It's to give them the skills for this new world.
Yeah.
Like training programs for robotics, AI, all that.
So it's like we're giving the workers themselves an upgrade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Upskilling. Instead of fearing the robots, they're learning how to work with them, even program them. It's really cool.
That's so interesting. It strikes me this isn't just about cars anymore, is it?
No, not at all.
It's about how we all adapt to change, really. Like any industry, any job even.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally. And that's what's so useful about Ahanotu's work, It gives you a framework, a way to think about it. Everybody's always saying, innovate, but he actually tells you how.
Right. And a big part of that is like understanding that not everyone's the same, right?
Exactly.
You need your different players.
Yeah.
Those aspirants, for example.
Yeah.
Probably not the best for like running the daily grind.
Right.
But give them a new idea to play with. They're golden.
They'll run with it. Totally.
Yeah.
And then you've got the reservists right there to help make it actually work in the real world.
Exactly. All that experience. It's crucial, like you were saying.
Totally.
Makes you wonder, could this work outside of a factory, I don't know, like software design or something?
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. You've got your core team building the product.
Right.
But then you could have a group totally separate. Their whole job is just messing with new tech, new design ideas.
Right. Or even like finance. I'm just thinking off the top of my head here.
Sure.
You could have a whole team. All they do is analyze the market, trying to spot trends and stuff.
Yeah.
And then another team, they figure out how to use that info, make investment decisions.
Exactly. It's the same principle, really. You figure out everyone's strengths and you build the system around that.
Yeah. Build a system around the people. I like that.
It's about valuing that continuous improvement and the big, bold moves.
Right. Got to have both. So to everyone listening, like, think about where you work.
Yeah.
Could you do this? Could you be more experimental, but also use your senior people's wisdom better?
Right. Or maybe just realize not everyone works the same way, and that's okay.
Yeah. Celebrate the differences, right?
Exactly.
Well, this has been fascinating, really. Who knew a dissertation from way back when could be so relevant to, like, how we build cars in the future?
Right.
I guess the good ideas really do stick around, huh?
You really do.
Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. And until next time, keep those minds open and those engines running.